What's up, everybody? It's been a minute. It's been a very long time since I've even done a video like this. But I wanted to share something with you all, and then I'm going to do an unboxing. But what I wanted to do this first part is share a testimony that I had. I had for a while been wanting to get a embroidery machine. But of course, anyone who knows that those things are very expensive. I don't care what brand you're getting, especially if you want a multi needle. So I put it in the atmosphere. That's what I wanted. I want me an embroidery machine. I want to step into embroidery with my business, because all I was doing was either vinyl, I did some sublimation, or I would do eco solvent. Those were my three mediums, right? But I wanted to do embroidery. I knew embroidery was where more money was. So I put it in the atmosphere. I want me an embroidery machine. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. I went through the process with Racomo to see if I could qualify to get one financed. That didn't work out. And so I'm like, okay, God, I really want this. What's my next move? So it's like every turn, nothing worked that I was doing, right? So finally I said, okay, Lord, I put it in your hands. I've told you what my request is, told you what I wanted. Now I need you to do the work. So one of the members of my church also does embroidery, but he does it like on a personal level. So he has like just the regular single needle embroidery machine that he does. He does it for fun. So I spoke to him. I was like, do you know anyone that's selling an embroidery machine? And he says, well, not really. He said, but I'll check with the people that I got my machine from and who services mine. It was like, okay, cool. So I left it alone. And even through that process, and it was like maybe a month or two, to be honest, before he even spoke to these people. And I've been wanting this machine for the past 2 years. So a month or so went by, he went out of town, and I'm like, okay, Lord, what's going on? So every time I would try to look for information or try to see if one was on sale somewhere, I always heard the voice saying, be patient. I'm working. And that's what I would continue to see. Be patient. I'm working. Finally, he came back from one of his trips abroad, and he was like, I spoke to, who his friends were. I was like, okay. He's like, they have an embroidery machine that's in their window, and it's been sitting there for 2 years. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, how many needles is it? And he was like, I think it's 4 needles. Well, that would have been perfect for me. I'm just getting started. 4 needles will definitely put me on the path that I need to go on and at least get me started, right? So I said, okay. He was like, well, I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to see how much he's trying to sell it for and see if he'll take payments, whatever. I said, okay, cool. You guys, literally, he called me back the next day. And he said, okay, I spoke to my friend, and he's willing to go ahead and sell it to you. I was like, cool. Well, how much is he talking? And he gave me a figure. I can't remember what it was, but I knew it was under $2,000. And I was like, okay. I said, well, is he willing to take payments? And he was like, yeah. He was like, but, call him. I was like, okay, cool. So he gave me the number and the business name, and I looked up this company, and it was literally 5 minutes from my house. 5, if that. And so I just said, instead of calling him, I'm just going to go there. So I went there, and I met the man and his wife, and I talked to him. I told him what I was trying to do, what business I was trying to break into. And he said, well, I do have this multi-needle one here. He said, can I tell you the backstory? I said, sure. whatever you want to tell me that's going to help me get that machine to my house, I'm willing to listen. So over 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, she brought the machine in to get repaired. So she dropped it off. He figured out what was wrong with it and told her, of course we can get it repaired for you. She never came back. She dropped off the machine. He checked it out, saw what was going on, and called her back, and she never responded, and she never picked up the phone. So for the past 2 years, he had been reaching out to this woman. So fast forward to me, he had still, when I went and talked to him and asked him how much. You guys, this man only charged me, I think it was like $1,100, maybe a little over $1,100 for the embroidery machine. But here's the thing. I only paid for the service of it. He gave me the machine, and I still am in awe of what God has done. I gave him half of that payment. He went ahead and shipped it off to Janome. Janome repaired it. I came in while it was still out and gave him the rest of the money for it, and it came back within days, and I brought that machine home. I said all that to say is we have to be faithful in our doings, and what God has for us is definitely for us. Do not negate that. Do not second guess that. Don't question that. Whatever God has for us is for us, and we have to be ready when he has whatever it is that he has for us. So for me, it was me waiting on God and letting him do the work. I asked him something. I asked him for something, and I kept asking him for it. But once I allowed him to work as he does and be his wonderful self, then I was able to get what I wanted. I am still learning the machine, but even through that, I'm getting new things to go with it. I'm learning small techniques. I'm learning some things that I never thought I'd be learning. But I just want to say that God is faithful. And if we do what he has called us to do, if we are the faithful people that he has called us to be, he will be faithful unto us. And I thank God for what he has given me. So I just wanted to share that with you all. I've never shared a testimony, but this testimony is really big for me. It's not the biggest thing that has ever happened for me. Don't be mistaken. But this was a wonderful thing that has happened to me. So what I want to do now is I want to actually show you all the machine. Disregard some of the things you may see over here. This is a working business, but I want you all to see the machine. All right, so here it is here. Janome MB4S, 4 needle. And this is the blessing that God has given me, and I really do thank him for it. All right, guys, I'll be back with the second video soon of something else that I've been blessed with. All right, you guys have a good one. I'll see you soon.